Thanks, Shane. That's quite the intro. All right, so it's good to be back here at Northwestern. It's been a hot minute. I'm not a professional speaker. As a matter of fact, I've really never given a speech like this in my entire life. And I'm probably going to screw up, lose my place, stumble, but it's all good. Those are called opportunities. Messing up, stumbling, and making gigantic mistakes is one of the big reasons why I have the opportunity to come up here to talk today. That's right, failures can actually be a good thing. And it's a big part of the reason why Mr. Morgan asked me to come up here and talk tonight. And guess what? A lot of you are students in this room, and you're going to graduate and go into the real world and fail too. And that's a good thing. Because when you get back up and dust off your shoulders, you're going to have that opportunity. And that opportunity is to walk the extra mile. And tonight's speech, I'm just going to pop this thing off. There we go. Can't say how important that really is when you do go the extra mile. It's going to be a theme. So the title of the speech is 5 reasons why going the extra mile is ridiculously important. The first reason is because the extra mile is full of second chances. So imagine for a moment, if you will, that you're at a restaurant. You order steak, potatoes, and some green beans. It's a nice dinner. It takes a long time for it to come out. The steak's undercooked, cold. The potato is actually a sweet potato, you want a regular one. And the green beans are non-salted. It's just not a good experience. But the waiter notices that something went wrong, and runs back to the kitchen, is talking to the chef, and comes back and confusedly apologizes, like, hey, I'm so sorry that all this happened. I'm going to make it right. So things are a little bit different now. You're like, oh, okay, maybe this guy really does want to help me out. Food comes back out, gets you a free appetizer, and things are great. So think about how you would have felt had the waiter just not cared and let you have a crappy dinner. It's not a good start. But instead of writing a nasty Yelp review, if he came back and took care of you, you're going to have a much better opinion because that person was going the extra mile for you. Or imagine you're getting your oil changed. It's a hot summer day, you're waiting in line, it's just taking forever, and they bring you out a nice cold bottle of water. They clean your windshield, put air in your tires. These are all things that have recently happened to you where other people have gone the extra mile. And you notice these things. It makes a very big difference. And what I want to talk about was the start of my company. We're bootstrapped. Garage sale at my parents' house, sold my Xbox, a few random knickknacks here and there. It came up about $5,000, and that was it. And then took a chance, moved to Tampa, Florida, with my, at the time, girlfriend and business partner to be out closer to the third founder, and nothing worked the way that it was supposed to. You know, imagine that you're at the starting line and somebody ties your shoelaces together, and bang, gun goes all in your face. That's basically what happened to us. It took about a year of development to get the software right and get that tested. We took a little bit of money we could scrap together while credit card debt was piling up, try to figure out how to pay rent and not wind up on the streets. But the company that we contracted made a mistake. And the mistake was they forgot to wire the back end of our software, which is where the magic happens, to the front end of the website, which is where everybody engages with the platform. And so when our original partner made that announcement, and we had several thousand people trying to register, everything crashed and burned. The bank stopped accepting payment because there were so many people registering for a new website, they thought it was fraud, so they turned off that ability. I was scrambling with Chase, trying to get it turned back on. And when people would log in for the first time and see what they paid for, nothing worked. The numbers simply weren't there. And as you can imagine, there are a lot of angry people. And a lot of people sending in emails like, what the heck, man? Paraphrased. I just gave you this money, so like, where's this service that I'm paying for? And emails were literally coming in faster than they could be opened. But it was funny, I ran into Tyler Vian here tonight. Tyler is the nephew of my first ever personal training client over the NSU RAC, and a big reason why Avatar exists. So a little side note that I thought was cool. Shout out to David if he watches this. But anyway, going back to that, I wanted to help people the same way that I had a chance to help David back in the day. And all these people who were angry, I understood, were people who had come to make a difference in their life and try to do something positive. So by hand, for about 1,500 people, for about 2 months, I was staying up around 20 hours a day crunching numbers for people and answering emails and providing care and service to all those people who had signed up. You know, it was tough. I earned my first gray hairs doing that. But it was really cool because these people noticed that I was going the extra mile for them, and they gave me a second chance. And that core of about 1,500 people that we were working for, just really trying to help succeed in spite of everything that was going wrong, started referring. And it became word-of-mouth referrals that became the core of our growth as a business. We still to this day don't have an official digital marketing platform. I make memes on Instagram, and that's about it. But that group of people, over the course of the next 3 years, turned into over 120,000 that wound up coming through our doors. But it all started because of going the extra mile and being given a second chance. Which brings me to point number 2. The extra mile will open up doors that you didn't even know existed. When you have 120,000 people come through your doors, your business, or you never know who's going to show up. And let me tell you, there's been some interesting people that came along. And a lot of these people have wide reaches and wide networks. Not too long ago, me and Katie, one of the other co-founders of Avatar, were flown out to Los Angeles to do some work with BuzzFeed. You know, they're a company a few people might have heard of. But it turns out that one of their creative producers' boyfriends was using the system, loved it, had great results, and referred her to it. In the first week, she lost the exact amount of weight that we predicted, thought it was magic, so they wanted to run a content piece on it. That's currently under edit right now, and will probably reach somewhere between 16 to 19 million people when it's released. But why? Because of going the extra mile and actually helping somebody out and making a difference. Not too long ago, I just got back from a road trip with the WWE. That was one of those weird moments in life. You never know what's going to happen. But it was really funny. One of these wrestlers started following me on Instagram, and I thought to myself, why? How in the world would this guy know who I am? And I figured there's only one reason. Maybe he's using the system. So I did a little bit of Googling, found out his real name, and sure enough, there he was in the database. So I slid into his DMs. I was like, hey, dude. What's up? But he's currently running something called Celtic Warrior Workouts. It's an inspirational thing for people on YouTube to try to help them get in shape and find different ways they can work out. It's all about Socrates. He said the only thing you know is that you know nothing. And so that's the approach that he took. And he's trying to pick people's brains and put them in front. And sure enough, my brain and the brain of the other people much smarter than I am at Avatar were those that he wanted to pick. And sure enough, we go down to Houston not too long ago and go on a little road trip. So I'm underneath an arena, Randy Orton's running around, giving people RKOs out of nowhere. Everybody remembers that meme. But, you know, it was just a great thing. And we recently had some of the first affiliation posts go out on that. And his brand and our brand are both growing together through that. And so, once again, just didn't understand that and opened up a lot of opportunities. But it's not always the big people who you run into that are going to make an impact on your life. There was somebody who was using our system early on who I didn't know this at the time, but she was dying. And she was dying of anorexia. She was down to about 70 pounds and was terrified of eating. Wouldn't eat anything. At the time, I didn't have the same kind of insight in people's data, so I didn't know this. I just thought there was this person on the other end of an email who needed somebody to listen to her and somebody to talk to. And so I'd always encourage her and support her no matter what time my phone dinged. I would send her a message, like, hey, you know, it's okay, like, it's just a carb. You don't have to be afraid of it. But she would eat it. And years later, this was towards the winter of 2017. It was some of the most difficult times in my life. The original business partner that we had a disastrous falling out with. And I thought that the whole company might die as a result. So everything that had been sacrificed and everything to build up to this moment and get us where we're going was in jeopardy. And I lived off of Boyd Street when I lived off campus, right by McGee's. And like, I don't mean to get too sappy with you guys, but I had a little companion named Dude. He's a little kitten, wandered out from under the shed. And that was in grad school. I took care of him ever since, and he was my little source of sanity and constant companion. But amidst court hearings and everything going to hell in a handbasket, my little guy got sick. and came down with feline leukemia, and 2 weeks later I had to put him down. You know, and that was difficult. It's still difficult to talk about. But immediately after doing that, I had to get on an airplane in Shreveport and fly back to Tampa to go to court here. You know, it sucked. And it was very difficult to find the will to keep going. And sometimes you have to find the reason why you're doing something in the first place. But this girl who I was talking to used to be an artist. And she lost the ability to even lift up a paintbrush because she was so weak. But because of going the extra mile and having an impact on her life, she drew a beautiful portrait of Dude and mailed that to me along with a letter. And that letter thanked me for taking the time to essentially save her life. And that gave me the strength to keep going and make it through those battles and open up all the doors that have led to today, this moment right now. So the extra mile truly is full of second chances, and it will open up doors that you didn't even know existed. And I'll tell you something else. It's a tough world out there, and it's getting increasingly competitive. So going the extra mile is something that's going to help you stand out. About 44% of recent college grads are considered underemployed right now. And that means that you're going to have to find multiple jobs just to try to make your way. It's going to be rough. More people are entering the job market, less people are retiring, and many jobs are being replaced by automation. That's just the reality that we face. College will provide you with great opportunities. And to get in the habit, man, do it right now. Get in the habit of going the extra mile, whether it's through an internship, whether it's through networking. You have opportunities left and right around you right now to start preparing yourself for everything to come. So work your butt off. But grades aren't all that you need. I mean, make good grades and try, because once again, it's the momentum of the habit. But it's going to be tough. Like, I was a pretty good student. I made good grades. I founded Demon Dodgeball and did a whole bunch of other stuff. Well, of course, with my buddy Yasser out here. But that's not always going to last. When I moved to Tampa, I thought, oh, you know, I'll just go up there and get a job and, you know, build my dream on the side and everything will be great. I had a pretty good-looking academic resume, so I applied to about 110 various positions out there. Of those 110 applications, let's see. Oops, I lost my place. I told you I was going to mess up. But anyway, of those 110 applications, I got about 30 interviews. Of those 30 interviews, I made it to about 5 final rounds. And of those 5 final rounds, I got 0 job offers. That was rough. But I kept going. And you find a way when it seems like there's simply not a way. But think about it like this. Going the extra mile means that you're still in the game. If you fall down 7 times, you stand up 8. Samurai proverb. Write that one down. But you're going to find second chances. Doors that you didn't even know existed are going to open up. And eventually, they'll start to stand out. It takes time. Going the extra mile is also, this is number 4, the secret formula for accomplishing just about anything. With time, consistency, and effort, you can move mountains. And that's just the truth. Miss any one of these pieces, and you're not likely to succeed. So I'll tell you a little story. Going into puberty, I was a chubby guy. My nickname was Drew Carey. Not the best look going into 7th and 8th grade. You know, Sadie Hawkins was rough. But I got tired of it one day. I was hiding, like my parents are here in the audience right now, and I was hiding in their pantry eating baking chocolate, and I was about to unwrap a moon pie. Moon pies are, you know, a little marshmallow thing with 2 cookies on the outside, dipped in chocolate. Everybody's happy. But I was tired of it. I was tired of being Drew Carey. I was tired of wearing hoodies during the summer to try to hide myself under. And something had to change. And it was one of those moments where, you know, maybe lightning split the sky and the earth opened up. I don't know. It felt that dramatic. But I took the moon pie, stormed out into the backyard, and like a discus, just threw it over the fence. That really happened. But I said, no more. Like, let's find something different. And so, like Forrest Gump, I just started running. I couldn't go very far, and I couldn't go very fast, but I started running. My eyes were chafing. But I did it. Like, I made it 3 driveways down before I had to stop, 5 and 6, so on and so forth. But I started, sure enough, losing weight and getting better, and it took time, but with that time, consistency, and effort, my junior and senior year of high school ended up running track and cross country. Ended up graduated at 128 pounds. I was a little flying stick man. It was great. But one of the things that I really gained from that was confidence. And it was the confidence that, oh, wow, here's this formula. You put the 3 things together, time, consistency, and effort, you really can make pretty big changes in your life. And so, wow, maybe I want to think back to 8th grade when I had really bad tendonitis on my knees and couldn't move. I want to try football again. And that's like a weird thing to say because there's some big guys out there. But I wanted to do it. And so, sure enough, I registered as a walk-on, started training with the team, going to the rack, making Iberville lose money. But I ended up doing that, and it was a great time. It built a lot of confidence and helped push me in the direction that we're going. Unfortunately, my junior year, I ended up having a jaw surgery, so that kind of ended that. But I learned a lot of important things along the way. So, yeah, time, consistency, and effort, you can do just about anything. So let me flip this page over. Oh, there we go. I'm sorry about that. But there were a lot of things I wasn't supposed to do coming from a family that was where nobody played sports and didn't really have too much inspiration around. Ended up powerlifting at the national level. Still play rugby to this day. I mean, these are things that I wasn't, finger quotes, supposed to do. But with those 3 things and going the extra mile in every single one of them, it opened up the opportunity to have a lot of fun and doing things and having new experiences. So going the extra mile will give you a second chance to change things in your life. Could be your body, could be your relationships, could be your professional career. It opens up doors to experiences you never knew you could have, and it helps you stand out from the crowd. And it also gives you the secret superpower where you can accomplish just about anything. But what I want to tell you is that nobody is guaranteed tomorrow. So if you want to impact the world today, start going the extra mile now. So back in 2009, this is kind of an interesting story. After one of our practices, they told the whole team, go to the blood drive. The blood bank was out here, and they also started doing like some cheek swabs and stuff. Totally forgot about it, but they ended up putting everybody in the National Donor Registry for people with blood cancers. 2016, I kept getting these phone calls from something called like the registry, and I thought, oh, one of my friends must be getting married. I'm kind of broke. I don't pick it up. But they just kept calling and calling and calling. So finally, I picked up. I'm like, oh, thank God you finally picked up. Is this Mark Springer? I'm like, yeah. Who are you? They said, we're with the registry. You match somebody who has leukemia. I said, what? Yeah, you match someone with leukemia, you can donate bone marrow and possibly save this person's life. So I was like, oh, wow, awesome, let's do this. So go through all the different rounds of testing. They test your blood thoroughly to make sure that you're healthy and you can donate good marrow to somebody. And in June, it was June 3rd, 2016, I went to Cook Children's Hospital in Fort Worth. They put me under, drilled into my hips, took a cord out, and put it into somebody else. And that was a really cool process, and I thought it was going to be, a fairy tale ending. So around Christmas of that year, because they don't tell you who your recipient is, there's a lot of privacy stuff, but eventually you might get to meet them, and that's what I was really hoping for. I get to meet this person, give them a hug, and they're going to be my friend for the rest of my life. It's going to be awesome. But around Christmas, I got a call that my recipient didn't make it. And that was very difficult to hear. My heart obviously goes out to their family. And that was rough. And it really kind of shattered things, because you have this view of what you think the world is going to be like, but it's not always that way. And not a single one of us is guaranteed another day on this earth. And that's just the truth of it. And you never know who else it could happen to, too. I had a friend named Glenn Selick in Tampa. He had the office right across the hallway from our original headquarters. And Glenn was a PR guy who was all about giving back and finding other companies and other organizations, other donor groups and stuff like that to try to help, because he had great connections with Good Morning America and a lot of other really neat outfits. Glenn was also working with a women's advocacy group in Afghanistan. So he was helping make voting for women more of a normal thing there. And let's see. I want to make sure they get the details right on this. But yeah, it was January 20th, 2018. A group of 5 gunmen attacked the Intercontinental Hotel in Kabul, Afghanistan. The attack left 42 people dead and more than 14 injured. This was an ISIS thing, and they killed my friend Glenn. So you see these things on the news that are just absolutely shocking, and you think, there's no way. That's in another universe. That can never affect me. That can never affect somebody who I know and care about. It can never affect a friend. But sometimes it does. You know, Glenn had a family. He had little kids in high school. But all of a sudden, I'm sure it wasn't his plan. He was gone. So he went the extra mile for me, and I'm forever grateful. He gave us a lot of opportunities to get national recognition early on. But no matter who you are, no matter what you plan on doing with your life, make sure that you get started on it today, because nobody is guaranteed tomorrow. So I just want to give a little recap. I'm very lucky. I'm lucky to have so many amazing people in my life that help me to continue going the extra mile and continue encouraging me. But make sure that you're surrounding yourself with the right people, people who encourage you to do the same. After all, if you go the second mile, or the extra mile, well, second, third, and a millionth, but if you keep going the extra mile, you're going to get second chances. And you're going to get those second chances when you need them the most. Doors are going to open up to you that you never even knew existed. It's going to help you stand out in a world that only gets harder and harder to stand out in. It's a secret formula for accomplishing just about anything that you set your mind to. And since not a single one of us are guaranteed tomorrow, it's precisely how you can start impacting the world today. Thank you.
Thank you, Springer. I haven't thrown on the pile of fence yet.
That's fantastic.
Really good. Thank you. About the journey.
Okay. All right. We are going to do the